Welcome back to Trading Wars. Thanks for joining me today for this seminar, guys. So I want to break down everything. I finally broke 7 figures, and it's taken me 10 years to really perfect my Fibonacci triangle system, and it's changed my life. So I really hope today I can add some value to you, and I want to give you all of my systems, no charge, and I just want to be a part of this journey, and I want you to learn from me the best you can from my mistakes and from my success. So a little bit of background about me. I am a CPA and also a trader. So growing up, I come from an immigrant family, and basically the mindset was the stock market was a scam. And I know that resonates with a lot of people, a lot of immigrants, not educated and kind of scared and in fear. And I was as well. I was a flower delivery boy. And when I was delivering flowers, I used to deliver to CPAs, lawyers, and doctors. And, I used to tell myself, if these guys can do it, I can too. So I met some CPAs and they inspired me to do the journey. They were working in Big Four accounting and doing all these big public companies. And I was like, let me do that. So anyway, I became a CPA and I started working in asset management and private equity. And I still thought to that point that the market was a scam, but I was able to basically see that, you know what, if you master this skill, you can make a lot of money, because a lot of the asset managers were making money that I couldn't even think about at that time. And it created a passion inside of me, and it led me to developing my triangle system, my compounding futures leaps, premium selling, and my alpha day trading system. And it took me 10 years to perfect this. In the beginning, I blew up just like everybody else, but the only person that believed in me when I was at rock bottom was my wife. So I really owe this to her. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go through everything step by step. And we're going to be focusing on Fibonacci retracements and extensions the way that I do it. And we're basically just trying to follow the algorithms and the institutions. Okay. And if you have a small account, you can do the same things that I'm showing. The only thing that changes is the size. Instead of doing 10,000 in leaps, you can do 1,000 in leaps. Instead of buying 50 contracts, you can buy 1 futures contract. Instead of selling 50 options, you can sell 1 option, and you work your way up the ladder. That's what I did, guys. This is all my hard-earned money. I'm also a partner with Interactive Broker. I've been interviewed in Connecticut. I'm an influencer for them. And you can find the interview there, learn a little bit more about my Fibonacci systems if you want some more on that. But that's the only broker that I use. You'll see my screenshots below. I'm going to show you multiple ways to grow and fish for life. And I always have given free education and resources. That's why I grew on X and on YouTube. And but if I add value to you today and you want to come trade live with me and it resonates with you, then I'm going to give you some opportunities to do that if you're interested. And as always, this for educational purposes. This is my real account right here that I'm sharing with you. This is a screenshot from today. And also you can see here, these are my open positions that I have right now, and I'll walk you through this. I want to just teach you one thing before we move on. Even with the 41% win rate with smart risk to reward, you can still be profitable. So look at this right here, guys. This is the golden table. With the 2-to-1 risk to reward, you only need to win 34% out of 100 trades. And then as your risk to reward increases, you need less and less winners. And I have multi-bagger winners. I have a 450x winner on a day trade that I turned into a swing and trade. And those are the type of trades that will change your life. So let me teach you everything that I can. So we're going to start off here with my compounding engine. Okay, so this is the default, the beginner level. Basically, this is buy and hold. Okay, but I have a little bit of a twist. I use Fibonacci golden zone and measured move. And you can see here, guys, in my top portfolio here, my largest position is 1.516 million of the S&P 500. That's through leverage. You don't have to use leverage. I also have leaps. So you can see SPY leaps at the same time. I have SPY leaps as well, 113%. This is cash. So I have my leaps portfolio led by Google and SPY. And I use the Fibonacci golden zones, which I'll show you on the chart. And then I have my futures leverage position. Like I said, you don't have to use leverage. I use leverage to grow quickly. That's one of the reasons why I've been able to grow so fast. You can see in the last 3 months, I'm up over 275K. And then I have an Amazon cash position. And this one has been a laggard for me because Amazon is not even at all-time highs yet, whereas a lot of stocks have. I bought this back in April. A lot of these positions, my long-term plays, I bought on significant dips. And then I use things like option premium harvesting to generate cash flow on a weekly basis. And then I also do my day trading system every single day on the S&P 500 and stocks, and to look for other opportunities, right? But the core, the beginner side is buy and hold. This is the core, okay? This is like you with a small account, you just, instead of putting in a 400K, you put in 4,000 in a position. You know what I mean? It's the same thing, same setups. You buy weakness and you sell strength, okay? So what we're going to do here is I'm going to start off with the S&P 500. Okay. And by the way, this is called out all in Discord, all on X as well. It's documented. Check my highlights on my channel. But let's go to the S&P 500 first. Okay. So I'm going to pull up to the S&P 500. So what I want to show you here. So if the 50 contracts that I'm holding, you saw on my screenshot, the main purpose of that is buying the S&P 500 with leverage. The two tools that I'm using here, guys, is Fibonacci retracements as well as measured moves. When the retracement and the measured move are together in harmony and they kind of create a zone, that is your highest probability area on the chart. So let me show you how I was able to do this back in April. So first of all here, guys, we're going to go over to the weekly chart. Okay, so I'm just going to delete this fib and I'm just going to show you. So a measured move, what it is you look for the first move and you project it. So this was February of this year. Okay. And how I was able to get the bottom of SPY, what did I do? So let's full screen this. So the measured move, you should start with that. It's a very simple concept. You just take your Fibonacci tool and you measure the drop. So this was the first drop of the year. So this is about a 10% drop, right? So if we go from high to low here, you could see this is about a 10% drop. And what we do here with the Fibonacci is we do something called a measured move. A measured move is taking this distance and copy and paste. You're literally measuring 100% of the move and projecting it. Okay. And that's how we get over here, my friends, 486 on SPY. So now that's part one. How do we get an extra confluence? So I hop over to the monthly chart here, guys. We can see our last swing low down here on October. And we take this from low to high and we get around the same level, 488, 486 on SPY. So this zone is the area that I'm looking to build my position. So I started off, guys, building my 50 contracts. I start off small. You don't have to like go all in, just start off small. So I started off small with the position and then I was able to build myself up over time once I started making money on the position. So here, these 50 contracts, if I scroll over here, I've already closed on this position, 138,000. And I rolled this forward. So I closed that in September and I rolled it forward. So I have open $50,000 more. So what I do here is I just start off with a few contracts and then I build it up as it's making money. Okay, so that's the thing with fibs. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to go all in. Start small, and if you're getting a few winners, you can take the winner and you can make it even bigger. Okay, let's go now to Amazon. So Amazon was my share position here. I'm going to go to the monthly chart. I love when you're doing long-term investing, start with the monthly chart. Okay, and this is your default. You buy and hold. Okay, whether you're doing leaps, whether you're doing shares, this is your default. So Amazon here, guys, here is the last rally we had was about 190% on Amazon. Okay, this is the 2023 low to the 2025 high. And like I said, we haven't even broke all-time highs yet, which is kind of concerning for me, but I hope we get there soon because this is one of my largest positions. The 50% retracement is $162 if you round up here, and the low of Amazon is 161.38. So you'll see this was an old screenshot that I took a few months ago, but you'll see I have 2,280 shares of Amazon. So what did I do here? My average cost, guys, is 175. It's not 162. I start buying and I build a position, right? I wait for the confirmation. Let's go to this chart here. This is an example of confirmation Fibonacci. The green line is the 50%. What happens over here? Well, we can see we have a very big outside bar candle, which is a confirmation candle. And then if we take the next Fibonacci from low to high, we can see the algo stepped in again back on 21st of April. And then over here, we have our confirmation that it's holding. So you can use confirmation as well. You don't have to just go blindly. A lot of people say, oh, this is hindsight, blah, 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 because here's the thing, guys. I have the positions to show, but I'm also teaching a way that you can do it with confirmation. And let's hop into the Discord here, my friends. And let me just go ahead and I'm going to show you a few of these examples here. Okay. So I have my own stock channels here in the Discord that you can follow along. And you can see, I just want to show you guys here. So this is Amazon. I'm just going to head back over to April. And I just want to show you that I call this out live. Okay, so let's go back to April 28th. So we got to keep going back. So here we go. So keeping the 2023 Amazon low as our anchor and the Fibonacci golden zone right here. Okay, and then I told people started selling puts there, and then I started buying shares. Okay, and same thing over for SPY. Let me just go and show you that, my friends. So we go over here. All right. We go back up to April. Then I'll just show you the SPY chart here. So here we go. So we have our big picture Fibonacci harmonics here. We have our COVID lows here. And we have all the setups here, right? So here we go. This is April 2nd. You can see the Fibonacci pullback as well. So we took a lot of those plays. This is your default. This is your buy and hold. Okay. This is you just wait for good companies on a dip. Okay. We did the same thing with NVIDIA here, guys. I'm going to show you. So NVIDIA, we had our 786 Fibonacci with a 618 Fibonacci extension around $88. I'll hop into the Discord here. I just want to show you this. I just want to show you guys this is not hindsight, you know, because a lot of people always like to say hindsight, hindsight. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to do what's going to make you money, right? So here we go. So here is the buy zone, 73 to 93. And then we ended up buying at 88. And this is on April 5th. Okay. So anyways, guys, also make sure you follow me on X, my friends, because if you check my pin post here, you will see the levels that I shared back in April, right here, April 5th. Okay. All right. Anyways, so same concept though, on the higher time frames, we're just looking for that Fibonacci confirmation. We have our retracement and we have our measured move that line up together. If you want confirmation, you go down to the daily chart and then you can see over here on this Fibonacci zone, we have the outside bar confirmation, which is one of my favorites. So let's go through a few more. Tesla, right? So Tesla, we've been hunting Tesla. We have a position on this right now. Here's the monthly chart. Same thing, guys. So here's the 618 on Tesla. And what you'll see here with Tesla, I just add a common sense approach. So not only Tesla at 250 is a 618, but it's also a 50% drop on the stock. So that's the way you want to think about that. Okay. Let's also go to AMD. AMD, $77, same thing. This is one of the biggest plays we've ever taken. And I shared this step by step. This was a monster. And then I think the best one on the year was Hood. 2977 is the 618 Fibonacci and the low on Hood is 2966. Okay. So I'm showing you all of that, guys. Those are all plays that we took. But the point of that is just showing you, if you want to wait like a sniper, you can wait on the monthly charts, wait for those big Fibonacci zones where we have a combination of pullback with a combination of measured move. And that's how you do that. So if you have a small account, all you got to do is it's the same plays. You just do smaller size. That's it. Okay. Get your feet in the water, start building yourself up. It took me 10 years to get here. Okay. 10 years. So, you know, I took 5,000 into 84,000 trading futures. I'm going to show you an example of that. But these are things like you have to just take those baby steps and get into the market and become a student of the market, and you'll get the results over time. It's not going to happen overnight. Okay. The other part that I do here, we're going to switch over, is premium selling. Okay. So with premium selling, what I'm doing, guys, is I'm just going to show you here on the right. So these are all my futures premium selling that I've done. Okay. And what you can do here, my friends, is I have a free tracker that you can follow along with that I've created. If you go right here to the rich tracker, it's a Google Sheets, and you can follow along with all of my positions that I'm selling. You can see my leaps here, covered calls, cash secured puts, my futures premium selling. I have 100% win rate on this so far, this since May, where I started futures selling. And then you can see my long-term here as well. This is a free tracker. You can follow along. I update it every week. And I just want to share with you my journey, okay, so that you can learn. I really wish that back in the day, somebody would share a tracker with me, because I didn't know what was going on. I was just confused. I go to one person talking about moving average, one person talking about RSI, one person is talking about, the market is a scam. One person is saying they're driving Lamborghinis. It's confusing. Where's the documentation? I'm a CPA. Follow along with the tracker. We'll document it for the best and for the worst, okay? My goal is to generate at least $1,000 a week passively selling premiums. And the way that I'm doing this is through strangles. Okay. And I do strangles. And then during the week, I look for Fibonacci day trading setups to take more premium selling. So I'm going to show you an example of that. Okay. So these are my stats for since May, where we started. I started off just trying to figure out how does this work, because no one will teach you this stuff. And then I kind of got comfortable. I had a little bit of a drawdown in October. Trump had the tweet bomb about China, and I was down 2,000 or 3,000, but we had the recovery and I'm back over 8,000 and I'm progressing towards 10,000. So here are all the stats with this. Okay. So basically, guys, my goal with premium selling is to just generate income with a 90 to 95% plus win rate. The only way you can do that is selling very far out the money options. Now, what's the downside? If there's a flash crash, if there's a shock in the market, then guess what? You're going to have to buy, you're going to get a sign. You're going to have to buy the market at a discount. So I'm going to show you an example of that right now. Okay. So what we're going to do is I start off on Sunday with my premium selling. I sell strangles and then I add more on the intraday. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull up to the chart. Okay, so here's an example. So this is MES futures, right? So here's the 4-hour chart. Okay, so this is an example. So this is a few weeks ago. This is the 4-hour chart. Let me go to the weekly. You can see it clearly. So these 3 lines here, this was from 2 weeks ago because I realized them last Friday. So I'm going to show you this one as an example. I sell puts at 3 levels. These are mix of deltas, 10, 15, 20 delta. And basically, this is the Trump bomb right over here. We almost got into danger, but you can see that I'm selling premiums, guys, that are like what, 3% drop, 4% drop, 5% drop, 6% drop. These are areas on the market where I don't mind. This is the S&P 500. If the S&P 500 drops 6%, I'll buy it. See, that's my philosophy with this. And I also have 50 contracts so I can sell covered calls. This is very similar to the wheel strategy. Okay. And but I'm doing it very far out the money. If I get assigned, I'll take assignment. But in the meantime, if the market just stays away from the extremes, I can generate cash flow every month. And that's what I've been doing. Okay. And I just want to show you, I'll hop into the Discord. You'll see this is my premium selling channel. And I just did one this Sunday. And then you can see the ones we had a few weeks ago. These are all already covered. It's over 1,000 because the VIX is high. When the VIX is low, you're not going to get that much. But since the VIX has been high, there's a lot of fear in the market. You can get a lot for these premiums. Okay. And then what I do, guys, is I add more to the position using things like gap fill. So here is a gap fill trade, right, that we took last week. So I'm going to show you this. During the week now, I'm a sniper. I'm looking for day trades. I'm looking for opportunities. So here's the 5-minute chart. Here is the open gap from last week. And this is where I went. In this play, normally what I would do is in the past, I would buy futures contract with a tight stop loss like this, right? But because I'm already kind of leveraged in my portfolio, what I'm doing now is when we have these gap fill setups like this, I just say, okay, I'll sell puts down here. Okay, so the win rate is going to be 90% plus because I'm selling it out the money, but I'm timing it with these Fibonacci areas. I'm timing it so that way I can actually get an even higher win rate and have more success. Okay, so what I'll do here is let me hit the replay and I'll show you this. One of the biggest things I've done this year is I've implemented my Fibonacci indicators. I built these from scratch. It took me 10 years, okay? And basically, it keeps things simple for me. I know the value areas. I can trade on my mobile really quickly. Before in the past, I would have to draw all these levels. So here's an example. This is the previous week's range Fibonacci. I just turned this on. I have 4 of them. I'm going to have an offer for you guys at the end. If this adds value, you want to join and get the indicators, okay? But anyways, from here, you can see that we push down. And what I'm looking for is the gap to fill. So here's the gap fill right here. And then I'm looking and see it aligns with the 61.8 bear. And I want to see this 61.8 bear become support. So there it is. There's a support. And let's fast forward. Okay. So there we go. So right over here. Okay. So that one became a massive winner. So that's an example right there. And then you can see in the Discord, let me just show you guys this. I've been very active in the members lounge. Today we had a winner, which I'm going to talk about. But these are the live plays that I call out and I show everything. I have a new kind of focused chat in here that I really show all my positions. I really want to do my best and just share everything with you guys. Whether I win or lose, I just want to be known for somebody that's trying their best to be transparent, to share everything that I've learned over the years. So you can see right here, guys, like this is the intraday plays. We have the gap fills, all of that, all in the lounge here. And then you can see the actual premium that I'm selling. You can see it in this section here. Okay. Basically, the structure is every Sunday, I'm going to start off selling a batch of strangles, far out the money, 5 to 10% chance of occurring. Then I'm going to add more intraday setups with the gap fills, Fibonacci trades, with the indicators that I use. If you have a small account, just sell one contract, sell one micro contract, sell one contract. Or if you want to do cash settlement, sell one contract on XSP, which is 1/10 of the SPX. And you can use spreads or a stop loss. Remember, if you want to get assigned, that's a different story. But if you don't, you can actually manage your position. You can roll it out. There's so many things you can do. That's a whole nother video. By the way, comment below if you want that video. We can talk about that. And then I'm going to also do this on stocks. Okay, so let's hop back over to the actual tracker. And then you'll see, can we do this on stocks? Absolutely. So recently we closed Meta, 2 layers of puts for about 500. I just opened one on Google and you can see all of these cash secured puts we've been selling. Okay. And if you're in the Discord here, my friends, you'll see like Google right here. You'll see me. I like this pullback. I'm going to sell 2 layers of puts. Same thing with Meta. We closed out Meta right here, guys. We closed out Meta, adding Meta premium sold here in case we get assigned. blah, blah, blah. So all of these we've been able to close out. So you can definitely do them in stocks as well. I like doing futures because I can get access at Sunday. And I think there's an edge with going in on Sunday night because sometimes the market will rally into Monday, okay, which is a big deal. So really, guys, I started selling premium to buy freedom. I want to make 5,000 a month minimum of just selling premiums, not Ferraris. I don't care about that. I don't. Okay. I want consistency and I want freedom in my life. And I want to know I can reliably lock in 5K a month, 1K a week at least. And this is why I built this system. This is a part of my triangle system. The first one, buy and hold, right? This one you can't really control too much. It takes time. So I'm not going to be selling my positions here. I'm not selling my leaps to pay bills. It doesn't make sense. The premium harvesting, on the other hand, will allow me to get that cash flow. And if I do get assigned, I'll get assigned in the market or on stocks at a great deal. We're talking about 20, 30, 40% drops. That's where I want to buy anyways. So I'm getting paid to wait. And then once assigned, I'm getting paid to own. And those were the 50 contracts that I have. I sell covered calls on these every single week. So I get premium for that as well. Okay, but I do very, very far delta. So that way I don't get assigned. Now, finally, this is the section you guys probably know me for, which is my alpha engine. Okay, the alpha engine is actively looking for life-changing day trades every single week. So every day on SPY, I look for asymmetrical trades. Asymmetrical means I want to get at least 2 or 3 times my money. In situations where the market is aligned with everything, we can get, 300-400x, and I'll show you here, guys. So with futures, I've been able to turn 5K into 84K with no DK and no PDT. So I want you guys to check out futures. All right. And it could be much higher, but I'm doing a very high risk to reward. I'm going for try to make 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, up to 10 times my money. And that's why the win rate is not like 80, 90%, but I like a 61% win rate here. And all my data here, you can see every single month has been positive. Here's all my data. This is just a sample of the things that I do on weekends. I go through, I analyze, I look at NVIDIA, I look at all different companies. I'm like, which fibs work better? I go detail step by step. This is my passion. This is my love. And I'm trying to share this with you today. So please drop a like, subscribe, whatever you got to do. I want you to be a part of my journey. I really do. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some examples. And I've been using a crossover method, okay, with Fibonacci. And I've also been selling premiums with the strategy. So you can see in September, I closed my largest winner, 138,000 on the S&P with the 50 contracts that I ended up rolling. And within this 50 contracts, I have one trade here, an asymmetrical winner that went for a 400x. But what we're going to do is I'm going to show you an example of a trade actually today, a live trade on today's 27th of October that we just took this morning. So I'm going to show you how the crossover works. So I'm just going to go to the lounge and I'm going to show you a trade today. Okay. And then I'll explain how the crossover works. So this morning I said, so this is at 10:25, taking a small play here in the golden zone Fibonacci. And then you can see the setup here. We hit a big winner. So let's go into the chart now. What does this look like? This is the model I use right now. It's the Fibonacci indicators and the crossover. So I'm going to hit the replay here. We're going to go start new and we're going to go in here. And what I'm going to do, so this is the trade that I took today. I'm going to put in my auto Fibonacci, guys. This one has really helped me. Here's the first 5-minute candle. So what I do in the morning, first 5 minutes, nothing. First 15 minutes, nothing. I'm just trying to get a direction. What's the market doing? So here we go, guys. Right around the first 20, 30 minutes of the day, I can clearly see a direction. This is a bullish direction on the day, right? So what I'm doing is I'm watching this line, this 786, what's happening. So I do this usually on my phone because I'm on the go. So I'm watching, wait till we come down here. Okay, stop. Right here, I see the algo holding. So I end up taking my position once we cross over the 618, and let me fast forward. So this is where we are right now on the day, okay? So this was a really, really nice winner here, guys. This one went for 3x. That's what I mean by asymmetrical risk to reward, okay? You have to be looking for that. That's my setup every day. I wait for the first direction, and then we play that. We play the intraday leg, and then we also play the previous day's range and the gap fill leg, which is another concept. So I have 2 or 3 legs that I play in the day. Okay, and I just want to show you here. You can see right here, step by step. Okay, so this was the original setup here. And then you can see current intraday Fibonacci. So I have this up for the team. That's on my mobile, guys, using the indicators. It just makes it simple. I don't have to draw anything. I just want to be focused on what I need to execute. Okay, so let's go back over here now. So you might be saying, so Rich, what about stocks? Can you do this on stocks? So with stocks, remember the Fibonacci levels will be a little bit different. Sometimes it's a 618, sometimes it's a 786. With NVIDIA, I'm going to show you an example. It's 618 focused. I know that from all my data. Okay. And that's one of the benefits of being in the Discord. I share my data, like, what I've been researching. So NVIDIA over here, we're going to go back to Friday. This is an example of the Friday trade. Okay. Same auto fib indicator on. And then we go here. Oops. This is the previous day's range. Let me turn on the intraday. So you'll see with NVIDIA, what it likes to do is hold the 618. And what you can do is you can just wait for a confirmation candlestick. So here's our outside bar. Outside bar, that's your confirmation candle. Take your entry above the high, stop below the low. So you'll see that I love outside bars. That's why I have them in white. And those indicators are free, by the way. The white and yellow, these are my golden indicators. You can find it on my website, tradingwars.com/resources. So anyways, this one took a little bit of time to play out, but this is an example of a nice little winner on NVIDIA, right? So NVIDIA is about 618. So you have to know which levels work on what. For the S&P 500, I like the 786 crossover. For stocks like NVIDIA, they're very bullish. Sometimes it won't pull back to the 786. You have to deploy the 618, okay? So that's an example with stocks, okay? And then the previous day's range was an example that I showed you with like SPY with the gap fill. You can also do that. So let's see if we can find something right now. So everything is pretty much gapping up. So you're not going to really be able to see a previous day's range type of setup. Let's fast forward here. Yeah. So here's an example of a previous day's range right here. Actually, Tesla, this is live right here. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll just take this off and then I'll put on the previous day's range. Look at this. Okay. So here's the previous. So this is Friday's high and low. Look how the market is holding the 50% retracement off the open. This is live, right? So you can see it's holding it. Once you see that confirmation, you go ahead and you take your play. Okay, you take your play. Right here, we have the hold. Get in on this candle. Put your stop loss below the low. You take a play, right? You have an outside bar. You can take a play. Okay, so there's so many ways. What I love about Fibonacci is it's like a different dimension. It works on all time frames for different purposes. I showed you on the higher time frames, it's for investments, for swings, right? On the lower time frames, we're scalping. We're trying to get, quick in and outs, right? And what I want to show you now is probably my greatest trade of my life. We're going to go back to the 23rd of May, and I'm going to show you this one. And make sure you guys stay tuned to the end because I have a special deal for you guys. If you're interested, if you like what I'm doing, if it adds value, I'm going to give you a special deal, okay? But if not, no worries. I still hope that I add value to you here. You can learn something at least, okay, or you can learn what not to do if you don't like this, okay? So here's the 23rd of May, all right? I'm going back here. And this, my friends, I use my Fibonacci indicator. I'll just draw it for you manually. You can draw it. The only problem with drawing it is like it takes time, right? And if you're on mobile and you're like on the go, drawing it is a pain in the ass. So anyways, this is that trade from May 23rd. We had the Moody's downgrade of the US debt and basically the credit rating of the US. And this, you could see the 618, 786 combo, the same setup was holding back in May. The only difference is I decided to swing this play because it was pretty close to the bottom of the daily and the weekly chart. And I said, hey, let me give this a shot. So anyways, guys, this trade, and I also added one more time. This is where the market is right now. That trade is up over 144x. And then I added to that position here for another 300x. Okay, so you can add to your winners, okay, with tighter and tighter stop losses. So combined, it's about a 300 to 400x. And that, my friends, is just like on $100 or $200 risk becoming 10, 20, 30, 40 grand. Okay, that is kind of like the little hack in the market, right? Like we zoom out here, we could probably go to the 15-minute. We could see this better, right? So there's our little play back here. And look where the market is right now. You see that? That's a little hack. That's going to require you to be at the chart, right? And these are the trades I try to look for every single day. Okay. So that's why I try to organize this in level of involvement. Your long-term, you just set your fibs up. You can come to Discord. I draw them every week and just set and forget. The option premium harvesting is you can do this just one time a week, but then we go to the day trading where there's a lot of money to be made. Then now you have to be at the chart almost every day. And that's what I do. Okay, I do everything because I'm obsessed with this. I want to make as much as I can. I want to have a legacy. All right. And then can you do this on swing trades? Absolutely, guys. I just want to show you a few examples. Futures here, guys. I do this a lot. And the only thing that's changed over the years now is my instruments. So for example, here, this is the Trump tweet bomb about the China negotiations. If we take our Fibonacci from low to high, you'll see we're on the 618. So what do we do here? We can do bull put spread. We can actually buy futures contracts. We could buy leaps. The things that's changed over the years for me is the tools that I'm using, because there's different ways now, but it's the same Fibonacci legs. So this is an example in the 4-hour chart, S&P 500, right? And you can go ahead and do that. Recently on Google, I'm going to talk about Google here. So Google, you see, is my biggest leaps position on Google here. Here's the same setup, right? This was the golden zone play that we took in Google. I have this in my Discord. I'm not going to go and show you again because it's going to take time to go and find it and all that. But I have this, the leaps position that I took. And then if we go to the daily chart, this is a recent swing we took together. Okay. This was back on October 10th. We touched a 618, same concept. Okay. And actually, let me just show you guys. So if we go into Google here, see, you'll find the Fibonacci retracements that I was talking about, and you'll also see the leaps positions that we took. Okay. So there we go, my friends. So I really hope I try to show you everything. There's 3 layers. You can see some of the biggest winners we've had, the leaps. You could see the growth of the portfolio over time. You know, my wife actually helped me build my website again because it was looking like garbage, and she spent like 100 hours doing this, but I really appreciate her. And here is an example of the growth that I've been able to do. So these are all screenshots I've taken over the last, since April, basically, where at April, I was pretty down, you know, and because I was a little bit over leveraged, I corrected that. And then I started growing very rapidly here, guys. Okay. So this is my indicator, my package and everything like that. We'll talk about that in a second, but you'll see all the details are here on the website. And then you can also go to the resources page. This is completely revamped. On the resources page, you'll find everything. This is where you can learn everything. And also on the YouTube, the Fibonacci King playlist, as well as the Substack as well. Okay. But check out the website. We put a lot of time into it, and I hope this adds value to you. So thank you. Okay. So let's wrap this up now, my friends. You know, it's taken me 10 years to build these systems, burnout, breakthroughs, tears, blood, sweat, everything. And I don't want you to waste a decade of your life. You know, if for Fibonacci, buying on a pullback has made the most sense for me. Buying on a breakout has led me to blow up my account. And that's the straight truth for me. And if that sounds like it makes sense, come check me out. Okay. So what I'm going to do right here, guys, is I have a what to do next. Okay. So if you're watching this video, what I have are 2 offers for you. We have over 4,000 members in Discord. And if you have no money, you can always learn for free on the YouTube, Substack, and also just follow the tracker. It's free. Okay. And I also have a free section in the Discord. But I have my pro track, which is $100. You'll get 60 days of alerts and 30 days to use the full Fibonacci indicator library, plus the S&P 500 options mastery book. Okay. That's on the website, tradingwars.com. You just click on SPY options mastery. It'll say here that it's only going to come with 1 month for free, but I will upgrade you for 60 days. And I'll also throw in 30 days of the indicator. You won't get that unless you're watching this. Go ahead, you purchase on the website. And if you do it within the next 48 hours, I'll automatically upgrade you. If you do it later on in the future, then just let me know, hey, Rich, I watched the seminar. Okay. And I'll get you in with that price. I'll match that. Okay. And then otherwise, guys, I have my highest package, my elite package, which is lifetime to everything. And you work with me one-on-one. I'll build these systems with you depending on your portfolio. Okay. It depends on what you're holding, how much cash you have. We can build everything step by step, and I'll work with you for the elite. That's the highest package. We have a very big elite community. We have, some wealthy individuals in there, and some people just grinding and learning. And I would love to have you. I'd love to work one-on-one with you. I only do 10 spots per month. And I'll have that deal open for you guys for 48 hours. Email me. I'm doing a big discount on this. Email me, rich@tradingwars.com, for the pricing, because it depends. If you've been a previous member, I will do a heavy discount on it. If you bought a book in the past, I'll do a heavy discount on it. It'll come with the SPY VIP for life, stocks for life, Fibonacci Society for life, all future seminars and previous ones, and the full Fibonacci indicator library. You'll get every single indicator for lifetime. Okay. And if I build new ones, you'll get that for life. Okay. So that's my highest package. Email me, rich@tradingwars.com, if you are interested. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to do one more high level summary, and we will wrap this up. Okay. So starting from the easiest in terms of level of involvement, beginner, use the monthly chart on the top stocks you want to buy. Okay. You can use leaps, futures, or just shares. Okay. And then I draw these in the Discord. I have channels for every single stock as well as bonus stocks, okay, that I like. And I take these plays with the team. We sell cash secured puts on them as well. Okay. Now let's continue. The second one, okay, is going to be our premium harvesting. I do this every Sunday. And then during the week, I look for more trade setups in the Discord. I call them out live. Okay. This requires margin. This is if you're going to do this and you want to make that extra $1,000 a week, join the elite. I'll look at your account and we'll talk about what you can do based on your account size. Okay. And then we have the Fibonacci Alpha, which is the day trading system, which I'm most known for. And this one, I had that big winner this year on May 23rd that literally changed my life. Remember, if you get 100 bagger, it'll change your life. A lot of the top investors and stock traders, they've had one good play. Even like Warren Buffett, you know, one of his massive plays are Coca-Cola, right? You get one or two multi-baggers, you're good to go. This year we had AMD and we had Hood that were huge multi-baggers, as well as the S&P 500. If you're using leverage, it could become a huge multi-bagger, right? Even Google was a huge multi-bagger. But these opportunities are there for you. It's just, are you going to wake up and put in the work? Do you want to get financial freedom? Do you want to get out of this? Do you want to have income coming in? You have to take the steps if that's what you want. No one's going to do it for you. There's more distractions out there than there's ever been, and there's more false information out there than there's ever been. And you can go down the rabbit hole and you can get confused forever, or you can come learn from a guy like me. At least I'm showing my P&L. At least I'm showing my tracker. A lot of people aren't doing that because they don't give a shit. And I'm trying to show you so you can learn. Okay. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your time. And that's it, guys. So let me know, drop a comment below how you like this. I can do this every month for you guys if you're interested. Keep in touch with me. And those are the three systems, the triangle system. Remember, with Fibonacci, we buy weakness and we sell strength. We don't do the breakout. The breakout has the worst risk to reward out of everywhere in the trend. You get the pullback. The pullback is if you hit one good pullback, like a Hood at $29.77 and AMD at 77, NVIDIA at 88. These are all fib levels. Tesla at 250. You get one of those in your lifetime, it can change your whole life. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a great day.